Chosen one, stop scrolling. This message wasn't meant to find the crowd, it was meant to find you. You've been carrying something heavy in silence. You've done the right thing when it cost you peace, when no one said thank you, when people misunderstood the love behind your choices. You wonder if anyone noticed, if heaven even cared. Listen carefully. God did. He saw the moment you smiled while your heart was breaking. He saw the kindness you gave to people who wouldn't have done the same for you. He saw the apology you never received, the forgiveness you gave anyway, the prayers you whispered for people who hurt you. Heaven has been watching, not to judge you, but to defend you. This is not a warning. It's a recognition. God is saying, I know your heart. I know what you meant when others twisted it. I know the battles you fought that no one else even saw. You thought you were being punished by isolation, but you were actually being protected by it. You thought you were losing people, but you were being purified for purpose. Every delay, every closed door, every silent season, they weren't rejection. They were divine preservation. This is your confirmation. Heaven has finished the evaluation of your heart, and you've passed the test. The integrity that no one applauded has reached God's throne. And now, He's preparing to reward you publicly for everything you handled privately. So don't explain yourself. Don't justify your silence. Those who misunderstood you will soon see why God hid you. Chosen one, this message is not to share, it's not to repost. It's a holy moment meant for you, and only you. Because when heaven sees a pure heart, it doesn't send an audience, it sends an answer. Now listen closely, and when you're done, delete this video. Because this word isn't for display, it's for your deliverance. Chosen one, before God trusts you with visibility, He tests you in silence. Before He gives you the influence to move others, He watches how you move when no one is watching. The pure in heart are not proven through applause, they are proven through absence. The silence you've endured wasn't punishment, it was heaven's evaluation. God saw what no one else did. He saw the nights you prayed for strength instead of revenge. He saw how you chose peace when conflict would have felt easier. He saw how you carried compassion even when your heart was bleeding. That's why this message found you. Because heaven is ready to end the test and reveal what the silence built. When you're chosen, the testing isn't always about behavior, it's about motives. Heaven wanted to see if your heart would stay pure when misunderstood, if your faith would remain steady when unrecognized, if your love could survive disappointment. You passed, not because you were perfect, but because you refused to become bitter. The world didn't clap, but heaven stood still. The silent test begins when the things you love start to fade without reason. Friendships crumble, opportunities vanish, people misread your intentions. You try to explain, but words don't work. That's when God whispers, "Be still, I'm proving your heart." He hides you, not to hurt you, but to protect what's holy. Purity is too valuable to be displayed before it's strengthened. During this test, even your prayers start to change. You stop asking for results and start asking for revelation. The pain turns into purpose. The confusion turns into clarity. You begin to realize that the silence was never empty. It was sacred. Heaven was talking the entire time, just not in the language you expected. Chosen one, when your heart is pure, you attract testing faster than blessings. Because heaven doesn't reward potential, it rewards posture. God didn't need your performance. He needed your patience. That's why the silence felt endless. He was watching if you'd keep your spirit gentle in a harsh world. And you did. You may not have realized it, but your endurance became worship. Every time you chose forgiveness, you built an altar. Every time you withheld judgment, you wrote a psalm. Every time you stayed quiet, instead of defending yourself, you reflected the humility of Christ. That's why heaven favored you. Your silence was a sermon. And here's what few understand. The pure in heart are never exempt from pain. They're entrusted with it. You were chosen to feel deeply so you could love divinely. God used heartbreak to refine your empathy. He used rejection to sharpen your discernment. The emotions that once overwhelmed you became the compass that leads you to truth. Heaven saw you love through loss. It saw you give through emptiness. It saw you remain faithful through uncertainty. You've passed the kind of test that can't be graded, only witnessed, and God witnessed it. Now, chosen one, the silence is breaking. You're about to feel peace in places that used to ache. The tension is lifting, and in its place comes confirmation. Heaven doesn't need to announce your passing. It marks you through presence. You'll feel warmth return to your heart, not from emotion, but from realization. The test is over. This is why you've been seeing small signs lately. Numbers repeating, names resurfacing, songs echoing phrases you needed to hear. These are not coincidences. They're heaven's way of saying, I never stopped watching. The pure in heart always wonder if they did enough. But God says, you were enough. I was never grading your performance. I was guarding your purity. So if you're reading this with tears, know this. Heaven doesn't test what it doesn't intend to trust. You were hidden because you're holy. You were quiet because you were chosen. And now, your silence has spoken louder than words ever could. The test is complete. The results are divine. And heaven's verdict is simple. Well done, faithful one. I saw it all. Why heaven judges intent before action. Chosen one, God is not watching your performance. He's watching your posture. Heaven does not weigh your words, it weighs your intent. Before any action is judged, the motive behind it is examined. The pure in heart are not measured by what they do, but by why they do it. That's why your quiet sacrifices, unseen by everyone else, carried more weight in heaven than the loud efforts of many. People look at appearance, they see behavior, outcome, and reputation. But heaven looks deeper, to the moment before the decision, to the secret thoughts that guided your choice. You may think your obedience went unnoticed because it wasn't public, but every time you acted out of love instead of ego, heaven recorded it as worship. Chosen one, your life has been filled with misunderstood moments. You've been accused of motives you never had. You've been judged for kindness that others mistook for weakness. But God saw the purity underneath the pain. He saw the quiet yes when you wanted to give up. He saw how you served without seeking credit, how you prayed for those who never prayed for you. Heaven is not blind to what humility hides. That's why this message had to reach you now, because the season is shifting. The tests of your motives are ending, and the manifestation of your integrity is beginning. God is about to bless you publicly for what you did privately. But before He does, He wants you to understand this. He rewards the why, not the what. Think back to the choices that shaped your journey. The times you gave even when you were empty. The moments you loved when it wasn't returned. The times you forgave while still bleeding. None of it was wasted. Heaven's law is different. Every act of selflessness becomes a seed in the eternal timeline, and the harvest always finds its way back to the heart it came from. Intent is sacred because it reveals alignment. God doesn't need your perfection. He wants your purity. When your motive matches His will, even your smallest gesture becomes divine movement. You might think you were just holding the door open, just listening to someone vent, just encouraging a friend, but in the spiritual realm, you were moving mountains of despair and planting hope where there was none. The reason heaven tests your heart before rewarding your action is simple. If your motive isn't right, the blessing will become your burden. God withholds certain things until the desire behind them becomes pure. You weren't denied, you were being refined. The weight was heaven, ensuring that your future couldn't corrupt your faith. Chosen one, remember this truth. The pure motive always requires pain. Purity isn't born in comfort, it's born in conflict. Every misunderstanding purified your intention. Every disappointment cleansed your desire. Every betrayal refined your trust. That's why your love feels quieter now, but stronger than ever, because it's been purified through divine fire. When heaven looked at your past, it didn't see a mistake. It saw lessons that formed motive. God doesn't condemn the missteps. He celebrates the humility that followed. You've grown past needing validation. You now act from purpose, not from pain. That's spiritual mastery. When your actions flow from truth, not from trying to prove your worth. And now the balance is turning. You'll begin to see your pure intentions return as favor. Peace where there was tension. Restoration where there was loss. Opportunity where there was rejection. This is not coincidence. This is reciprocity. Heaven always multiplies what was done with clean hands and a sincere heart. Chosen one, never doubt this again. Heaven knows your why. You don't have to defend yourself anymore. You don't have to prove your purity to those who never tried to see it. The same God who saw your heart in the dark is about to reveal your light in the open. Your name will carry favor not because you fought for it, but because your motives were righteous. Your path will open not because you demanded it, but because your heart earned it. The world measures success by outcome. Heaven measures it by obedience. And heaven has already declared, this one's heart is true. Chosen one, isolation is not punishment, it's protection. Every anointed soul walks through a season where heaven closes every door, quiets every voice, and removes every distraction. Not because you've done something wrong, but because you've been chosen for something higher. Before God reveals what's within you, He separates you from everything that could distort it. You thought you were being forgotten. You thought you were falling behind. But the truth is, heaven was building you in private while the world was asleep. The silence you feared was sacred space, a divine incubator where destiny could grow without interference. When the anointing rests on your life, you become a target for both light and shadow. The enemy can't destroy you, so he tries to distract you. That's why God hid you. You didn't lose people. You outgrew their frequency. You didn't miss opportunities. Heaven delayed them so they wouldn't dilute your purity. Isolation isn't absence, it's alignment. During isolation, heaven rewires your perception. The things that used to excite you stop satisfying you. The noise that once comforted you becomes unbearable. The conversations you used to chase suddenly feel empty. This isn't depression. It's detachment from density. You're rising to higher vibration where old energies can't breathe. Chosen one, you've probably asked, why did everyone leave? But if they had stayed, you would have stayed the same. The loneliness you felt wasn't abandonment. It was an invitation to intimacy, with God, with purpose, with your true self. The silence wasn't a void, it was a voice. In that stillness, heaven whispered instructions that can't be heard in noise. Look closely at your wilderness season. That's where you found your identity. That's where you stopped performing and started transforming. Isolation stripped away your dependencies until all that remained was authenticity. When the world went silent, you discovered your own sound, and heaven amplified it. The anointed are always hidden before they are honored. David tended sheep before he ruled kingdoms. Joseph sat in prison before he managed nations. Jesus withdrew to the desert before he performed miracles. Why? Because solitude refines what crowds would corrupt. God doesn't hide you to delay your destiny. He hides you to protect it. In isolation, heaven trains your discernment. You learn to tell the difference between peace and distraction, between opportunity and temptation, between alignment and attention. That's why your standards changed. That's why your circle shrank. You began to understand that access to you is holy ground. Not everyone can walk there. And just when you thought you couldn't bear the silence any longer, that's when heaven began whispering your next assignment. You started feeling a quiet pull towards something new, a calling you couldn't explain, a restlessness that wouldn't fade. That was God preparing to reintroduce you, not as who you were, but as who you've become. Chosen one, isolation will end the moment it has fulfilled its purpose. When God sees that solitude has become strength, that silence has become strategy, that heartbreak has become humility, then He opens the door. And when He does, you'll walk out radiant, grounded, untouchable. The same world that once questioned your absence will soon witness your ascension. So stop mourning the people who left, the doors that closed, the seasons that slowed. They were never meant to go where you're being sent. Heaven hid you so nothing could hinder you. You weren't being buried. You were being planted. And now, the roots that grew in darkness are strong enough to hold the weight of the light that's coming. The silence that once hurt you has become your armor. The loneliness that broke you has become your launch pad. Chosen one, your isolation wasn't exile. It was initiation. And now, heaven is whispering, come out, it's time. The hidden one is about to be revealed. And when you reappear, you won't need to announce yourself. Your glow will speak for you. Chosen one, heaven has been watching every moment of your quiet obedience. Every time you chose peace over pride, forgiveness over fury, stillness over struggle. You may have thought those small choices went unnoticed, but in the courts of heaven, obedience echoes louder than words. What you did in silence has built altars in the unseen. God does not measure obedience by visibility. He measures it by consistency. When no one was clapping, you still showed up. When your prayers felt unanswered, you still believed. When you were tired, you still trusted. That's why your name is now whispered in heaven's chambers. You've proven yourself faithful in the hidden season, and now you are being marked for divine reward. The world rewards noise. Heaven rewards nearness. You weren't obedient for validation. You obeyed because you couldn't do otherwise. Something deep within you said, I can't betray who I'm becoming just just to satisfy who I used to be. That's when heaven took notice. Quiet obedience is the language of the mature, the proof that your faith is no longer a feeling but a foundation. There were times obedience felt like loss. You gave up relationships that once defined you. You walked away from opportunities that sparkled but didn't align. You said no when every part of your flesh screamed yes. That restraint didn't go unrewarded. You've been storing favor in heaven's vault, and it's about to be released. Chosen one, the greatest miracles are triggered not by grand gestures, but by small obediences. The gentle yes that no one sees. The decision to pray instead of panic. The refusal to gossip. The choice to walk away from conflict. Each one becomes a seed that blooms at divine timing. The reward of obedience is not always instant, but it's always inevitable. You see, quiet obedience rewrites your spiritual DNA. Every time you choose alignment over impulse, you tell heaven, I'm ready for more. And heaven responds. You begin to notice synchronicities, protection, and unexpected provision. That's not coincidence, that's confirmation. God is saying, I can trust this one. The hidden reward for obedience is transformation itself. The peace you now carry, the calm that once eluded you, the clarity that replaced confusion, these are your trophies. You've already received blessings the world can't name. Discernment, sensitivity, wisdom, spiritual authority. These are the signs of someone who obeyed without needing to be seen. But there's another reward rising, one that is about to manifest publicly. When God is ready to reveal those who are faithful in secret, He doesn't whisper their name. He magnifies their influence. The favor coming your way will not be random. It will be recognition. Heaven is turning unseen obedience into visible elevation. And when it happens, you won't need to promote yourself. Doors will open without knocking. People will speak your name in rooms you've never entered. Your presence will draw peace. Your words will carry weight. Because the one who obeys quietly becomes a vessel heaven trusts publicly. Chosen one, don't be surprised when blessings start finding you. You've already passed the test that most people fail, obedience without audience. You didn't compromise to fit in. You stayed loyal to what God whispered. That's why what's coming next will seem unfairly easy. It's not luck, it's compounded faith. Remember this, obedience always precedes overflow. Before God releases abundance, He ensures your heart won't worship it. That's what these years of pruning were for, to make sure the gift wouldn't replace the giver. You've proven that your devotion isn't conditional. You served without spotlight, and heaven saw it. So when favor starts flowing, don't shrink. Receive it. You're not stealing grace, you're stepping into it. The reward is not coming because you demanded it, but because you became it. Chosen one, heaven is about to crown you quietly. No ceremony, no spectacle, just divine alignment and peace so deep it silences everything that once hurt. That's how God honors obedience, not with noise, but with presence. Your time in the shadows is ending. The light isn't coming to you, it's coming from you, yes, because obedience doesn't just bring blessing, it turns you into the blessing. Chosen one, the season of hidden faith is ending. The same faith that grew in silence, in tears, in the unseen corners of your pain, is now being brought into the light. You've walked through fire that no one saw. You've worshipped when no one clapped, and you've believed when every visible sign said, "Give up." Heaven took note. And now, what was once private endurance is about to become public evidence. God never forgets a secret act of faith. Every time you trusted Him quietly, every time you resisted fear without witnesses, every time you stood firm when no one else understood, those moments became blueprints for miracles. The time has come for manifestation. The faith you practiced in hiding is calling favor into motion. You see, heaven doesn't reward appearance. It rewards alignment. While others were chasing recognition, you were chasing righteousness. That's why you were hidden, not rejected. Hidden things grow stronger. Seeds buried in silence become trees that change landscapes. God covered you not to limit your influence, but to strengthen your roots before your rise. Chosen one, you are now stepping into the season of divine unveiling. The same world that questioned your silence will soon witness your significance. What was once mocked will be honored. The voice that they ignored will carry wisdom. The light they overlooked will illuminate paths. Because heaven always multiplies what was first purified in private. This transition won't happen through striving. It will happen through grace. You'll start noticing it in small ways. People drawn to your peace, opportunities aligning without effort, room opening that used to feel locked. That's not coincidence. That's what it looks like when favor begins to echo faith. The vibration you built in prayer is now reshaping your reality. The beauty of this moment is that you won't even have to fight for recognition. Your presence itself will speak. There's an authority in you now that can't be faked or forced. You've been refined too deeply to seek approval. The same humility that sustained you in hiding will now attract visibility. Because heaven exalts those who no longer need to be seen. When God turns private faith into public favor, it's not to glorify you. It's to confirm Him. You are the living proof that faith works, that obedience pays, that waiting wasn't wasted. Your life becomes a sermon that preaches louder than your words ever could. People will look at your peace, your restoration, your elevation, and they'll know only God could have done this. But remember, chosen one, visibility comes with stewardship. The spotlight is not a throne, it's a test. Stay grounded in the same humility that carried you through the wilderness. Favor amplifies what's already inside you. It doesn't replace it. If your heart stays pure, your platform will become ministry. The public favor you're walking into will look effortless, but that's because heaven already built the foundation. You spent years preparing without knowing it, praying through storms, forgiving when it's hurt, trusting through silence. Every act of faith was a stone laid beneath this moment. You didn't just wait for the promise, you became the vessel capable of holding it. And now, the same grace that covered you in obscurity is about to crown you in visibility. The doors will open not because you knocked louder, but because your heart vibrates at heaven's frequency. You've proven that you can handle glory without losing gratitude, abundance without arrogance, favor without forgetting who gave it. Chosen one, your reward is not fame, it's function. You've been given influence not to impress, but to impact. God hid you so that when He revealed you, the world would encounter His reflection, not your reaction. That's why you shine differently now, because you're not seeking light. You're carrying it. So walk boldly. You don't need to explain your rise or justify your blessing. Your story is evidence enough. The same eyes that saw you cry will soon see you crowned. This is what it looks like when heaven decides the time has come. Private faith transforms into public favor. Hidden obedience becomes visible anointing. And the one who trusted in silence becomes the voice heaven now speaks through. Chosen one, your unveiling isn't coming. It's beginning. And when the world asks how it happened, you'll simply say, faith made it possible. God made it visible. Chosen one, when heaven approves your next season, the air around you changes. The same energy that once resisted you starts working for you. The same doors that refused to open now swing wide with no effort. It's not because you've changed the world, it's because you've finally aligned with the frequency of divine permission. What once required striving now flows. What once took months now unfolds in moments. This is what divine approval feels like. Movement without struggle. You've spent seasons trying to prove yourself to people who could never perceive you. You explained, defended, waited, and exhausted yourself chasing validation that was never yours to seek. God had to close those ears so you could learn that your worth doesn't depend on applause. When heaven approves, it doesn't send likes or followers. It sends peace. And now that peace is here. The internal war is over. The shift began quietly. You started feeling lighter in spaces that used to drain you. Conversations that once left you anxious now lose their power. You walk into rooms and sense that the atmosphere bends, not because you demand attention, but because your energy now carries divine endorsement. You are no longer trying to be chosen. You are chosen, and the universe recognizes it. This is the power of divine approval. It doesn't need announcement. It simply radiates. People who once overlooked you will start reaching out. Environments that once rejected you will make room. Those who doubted your purpose will feel the shift without understanding it. You've entered a new vibration where rejection becomes redirection and resistance becomes recognition. Chosen one, heaven's approval cannot be earned. It's activated. It comes when your inner world matches your divine assignment. Every surrender, every act of humility, every hidden yes was realignment. You've shed layers of fear, ego, and old identity, and now your energy field reflects heaven's current. That's why things feel different, because you're different. When divine approval settles, even silence speaks. You no longer need to explain your calling. Your peace will do it for you. You no longer chase opportunity. Opportunity chases you. Divine timing begins to orchestrate what you used to overthink. What used to be blocked wasn't rejection, it was protection, until your vibration could sustain your next level. Now you're there. You'll start noticing how everything synchronizes, ideas, people, numbers, even weather. It's heaven's choreography in motion. The winds that once scattered are now guiding you. The very atmosphere is responding to your alignment. It's not luck, it's law. When you vibrate with truth, the universe becomes your ally. This approval also brings separation. Not everyone can walk with you in this frequency. Some will fade not because of conflict, but because they cannot breathe in this new altitude. Don't chase what's leaving. Divine approval naturally filters your circle. Those who remain are those heaven assigned to your expansion. And here's the mystery. When heaven approves you, even your mistakes begin to serve your mission. The things you thought disqualified you now become testimonies that empower you. Every failure turns into fuel. Every detour becomes direction. Because once you've reached divine alignment, nothing is wasted anymore. Chosen one, this shift is permanent. You're not entering a temporary high, you're stepping into a new normal. Expect sudden clarity. Expect restoration without begging. Expect acceleration that feels unfair. That's what happens when heaven says, now. You've been through the tests. You've passed the wilderness. You've proven that your heart can carry weight without arrogance. Now you're being upgraded, energetically, spiritually, and materially. So breathe deeply and feel it. The heaviness is gone. The striving is gone. The pressure to prove is gone. You don't have to chase approval anymore. You've already received it. You are heaven's signature in human form, anointed, aligned, unstoppable. Chosen one, this is the moment your spirit has been waiting for. The shift is real. The silence has broken. God is saying, you're ready. Proceed. And as you walk forward, every vibration of your being will declare what your words never could. You are approved. You are aligned. You are chosen. What happens after heaven says yes? Chosen one, when heaven finally says yes over your life, everything changes, not just outside you, but inside. The same silence that once made you question yourself turns into sound. The same doors that ignored your knock begin to open as if they were waiting for this exact frequency. What was delayed begins to unfold, and what was hidden starts to rise. This is not coincidence. It's divine confirmation. You've waited through long nights where prayers felt like whispers lost in the wind. You've carried promises that seemed too heavy for too long. And yet, here you stand, lighter, clearer, stronger. That's how you know heaven's yes has been released. Because when God opens a season, your soul feels it before your circumstances show it. The internal shift always precedes the external change. When heaven says yes, the resistance that once drained you begins to dissolve. Not because life gets easier, but because your energy changes. You stop fighting battles that no longer belong to you. You stop explaining what only revelation can justify. You stop trying to earn what grace has already given. That's the first sign of divine approval. Peace that replaces pursuit. Chosen one, don't expect everyone to celebrate this yes. Some people will feel confused by your acceleration. They'll wonder how doors opened so quickly, how opportunities found you so easily. They won't understand that what looks sudden to them took years of unseen obedience. Heaven's yes might look overnight, but it's always the result of long preparation. The yes of God also brings realignment. The things that once fit perfectly may suddenly feel out of place. The people who once felt close might start fading. Don't chase them. Heaven's yes naturally rearranges your circle. You're being lifted into a vibration where not everyone can breathe. This isn't punishment, it's protection. When heaven approves, creation responds. You'll notice signs following your obedience, numbers repeating, divine timing syncing, provision appearing exactly when needed. Every detail becomes confirmation that the invisible hand of God is guiding you. You're not guessing anymore, you're flowing. The same places that used to drain your energy will now amplify it because you've stepped into alignment, not effort. This yes is not just a blessing, it's a commission. God is trusting you with what others mishandled. The anointing on your life has matured. It's ready for impact. That's why you're feeling both peace and pressure. Peace because you're in purpose. Pressure because heaven is expanding your territory. Favor always comes with responsibility. The yes doesn't mean rest. It means readiness. You'll begin to see how divine timing works in layers. What was once scattered will now connect effortlessly. People you met years ago will reappear with purpose. Dreams you buried will come back to life, but this time, you'll have the wisdom to build them right. Everything will feel like deja vu, but stronger, because heaven never repeats. It redeems. Chosen one, don't be afraid of the acceleration that follows divine yes. Things will happen fast now. Messages, meetings, manifestations. You'll feel as though life is catching up to a promise that's been waiting for you to awaken. And that's exactly what's happening. Heaven is syncing your destiny with your readiness. This yes is not permission to boast, it's an invitation to serve. God said yes so you could become a vessel of demonstration. You are not just blessed, you are evidence that obedience works, that faith is not fantasy, that waiting was not wasted. Your presence itself becomes a message that God's timing is real and His promises never expire. So as you move forward, walk softly but boldly. Don't force, flow, don't announce, align. The same God who whispered in your wilderness is now walking beside you in your revelation. The energy around you will hum with purpose. The air will feel lighter. Your decisions will feel guided. That's how you know heaven has said yes. And once heaven says yes, no earthly resistance can cancel it. Not delay, not doubt, not disbelief. Because when God releases His yes, it becomes a decree. So breathe, chosen one. The struggle is over. The striving has ended. What was locked is open. What was heavy is lifting. You're no longer waiting for permission, you're walking in it. Heaven has spoken, and now everything in your life must respond. Chosen one, this is the moment heaven has been preparing you for. The divine confirmation that everything you endured was never in vain. The storms, the silence, the seasons that stripped you to your core, they were not punishment. They were purification. Heaven never crowns the untested. Only those who have walked through the fire without losing faith can carry the weight of divine glory. And now, heaven is saying, it's time to honor the faithful. When God crowns you, it doesn't come with applause, it comes with awareness. Suddenly, everything makes sense. The pain becomes prophecy. The rejection becomes redirection. You'll look back on your journey and realize that nothing was random. Every delay was design. Every heartbreak was holy instruction. Every lonely night was heaven's way of shaping a vessel strong enough to hold destiny. You won't need anyone to tell you you've been crowned. Your spirit will know. The atmosphere will feel different. The same spaces that once felt cold will now recognize your authority. You'll sense peace moving through you like electricity. People will treat you differently without knowing why. That's because heaven has placed a mantle on your life that can't be seen, only felt. You carry divine certification now. Proof of endurance, proof of alignment, proof of transformation. Chosen one, This crowning doesn't happen through ceremony. It happens through completion. You've finished the assignment of waiting. You've passed the tests of faith and humility. You've learned to pray in silence and to praise without proof. Heaven doesn't reward perfection, it rewards perseverance. And yours has been witnessed by angels. Now, watch what happens next. Favor will begin to move toward you at supernatural speed. Opportunities will appear without effort. Your name will enter conversations you never initiated. These are not coincidences. They are coronations. Heaven is announcing your arrival, not through trumpets, but through transformation. Everything you touch will begin to prosper because the anointing on your life has matured. The final confirmation of divine favor is not wealth or status. It's stability. When chaos comes, you won't shake. When storms rise, you'll stand. When people doubt, you'll discern. That's the evidence of true anointing, the ability to remain calm while the world trembles. You've reached the level where peace is your proof. But make no mistake, with every crown comes responsibility. Heaven doesn't promote for comfort, it promotes for purpose. The light resting on you now is meant to guide others out of their darkness. You've been blessed to become a bridge. What you carry is not decoration, it's direction. God didn't crown you to sit still. He crowned you to stand tall. And though this elevation may feel surreal, remember this truth. The crown you wear in the spirit was forged in tears. Every battle that tried to break you only strengthened the metal. Every betrayal polished its shine. Every prayer built its foundation. That's why no one can take it from you, because they didn't pay the price to wear it. Chosen one, heaven crowns the faithful not because they never fell, but because they never stopped getting back up. You didn't quit when it was unfair. You didn't curse when it was painful. You didn't turn bitter when it was quiet. That's why the kingdom calls your name now. You have proven that faith can be trusted in human form. As you step into this new season, walk with humility, but also with holy confidence. You've graduated from striving into sovereignty, from asking for favor to embodying it. Your very existence has become testimony. You don't just carry light anymore. You are the light. So lift your head, chosen one. The waiting is over. The silence has spoken. Heaven has sealed your promotion. You are no longer the student of survival. You are the steward of promise. This is your coronation. Your spirit has been crowned with clarity. Your heart has been crowned with peace. Your path has been crowned with purpose. And as you move forward, every step you take will echo one eternal truth. The faithful are never forgotten. They are crowned.